Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're embarking on quite a grand adventure. Not into ancient ruins this time, but deep into the glittering future of a metal.
Gold.
Gold, exactly. It's captivated civilizations for millennia. Just think about it, right? Pharaohs in their tombs.
Roman emperors minting coins.
Spanish galleons hauling treasure. I mean, it's always held this singular, almost mythical power.
Yeah.
Even today, it's sitting quietly in vaults. Its value shifting with these huge global tides. What is it about gold? What makes us so kind of universally obsessed?
Is it just scarcity that it's so easy to work with?
Or maybe just that undeniable beauty? Or is it something, deeper, something we just instinctively trust?
Well, what's truly fascinating here is how gold has always sort of served as this silent witness. The ebb and flow of empires. It often acts as the ultimate hedge against chaos.
Almost like a vote of no confidence in the systems we build.
Precisely. It's this fundamental constant in a world full of variables. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, well, its next chapter, let's say from 2026 to 2030, looks like it could be exceptionally dramatic.
More so than usual.
Arguably more so than any period in recent memory, yeah.
That's a powerful way to put it. So this isn't just market fluctuations we're talking about. It's something deeper.
Definitely.
Okay. So today we're going to unpack these powerful forces shaping gold's immediate future. We've got the traditional economic pressures we sort of expect,
Right.
but also this surprising and, well, increasingly influential new geopolitical play that could fundamentally rewrite its role. Consider this your shortcut to being exceptionally well-informed on gold's grand unfolding adventure.
Let's dive in.
Okay, let's unpack this then. To really get a handle on where gold might be going, we first have to appreciate the basics, the foundational forces that have always driven its value.
Yeah, the fundamentals.
For decades, its price has been caught in this classic financial tug-of-war. So what are these traditional titans? Who's pulling the rope?
Well, on one side of that rope, you have the really powerful central banks. Think the Federal Reserve in the U.S., arguably the most influential one.
Right.
Their main weapon, their most potent tool, you could say, is interest rates.
Right.
When they decide to raise rates, it makes borrowing more expensive. It's a way to, slow down an overheating economy, keep inflation in check.
Makes sense.
But crucially for gold, higher interest rates make other assets look more attractive.
Ah, okay. Like bonds.
Exactly. Bonds, savings accounts, money market funds, they start paying more interest. Gold doesn't pay you anything just to hold it. No interest, no dividends. So when rates go up, holding gold comes with what economists call an opportunity cost.
Meaning you're missing out on returns you could get elsewhere.
Precisely. You're missing out on that yield. So investors often shift away from gold, and that tends to put downward pressure on its price.
So, okay, if I'm getting this right, when central banks are hiking rates, making those traditional investments look good, gold often takes a backseat.
Generally, yes.
But what's the opposing force? What's pulling in the other direction? Something that sounds maybe less controlled than central bank policy.
Indeed. Yeah, the other side of that rope is, well, it's like a tidal wave of global debt and the constant threat of inflation.
Okay.
Just picture governments worldwide needing to fund huge projects, infrastructure, social programs, you name it. Often, they do it by essentially printing trillions in new currency.
Creating money out of thin air, basically.
Pretty much. And when you have all that new money chasing the same amount of goods and services, well, that's your classic recipe for inflation.
It eats away at the value of your cash.
Exactly. It's like a silent tax.
Yeah.
It just relentlessly erodes your purchasing power over time. And this is where gold really shines. Because it's a non-sovereign asset.
Yeah.
That means no single government or central bank issues it or controls it.
It's just there, a physical thing.
Right. A physical commodity that can't just be devalued because someone decides to fire up the printing presses. So in this big tug of war, when debt levels are soaring and inflation is winning,
Gold's price tends to go up.
it tends to surge, yeah. It becomes that safe haven asset, that tangible store of value people flock to when the world feels uncertain and, the reliability of regular paper money comes into question.
We've definitely seen this economic tug-of-war play out, countless times. Investors are kind of used to watching these two forces, monetary policy versus debt and inflation, battle it out.
It's the classic dynamic.
But here's where the script for gold's future gets really interesting. Because there's a powerful new character stepping onto the global financial stage, someone challenging the long-standing lead actor. For generations, that stage had one undisputed superstar, The U.S. dollar.
That's absolutely correct. I mean,
Okay.
the U.S. dollar has been the bedrock, the foundation of the modern global financial system.
Everything priced in dollars, right?
Pretty much all major commodities, oil, copper, even gold itself, priced and traded in dollars. International trade, mostly settled in dollars. Central banks around the world hold huge reserves in dollar assets.
So it has this hegemonic status, as they say.
Exactly. That dominance has given the United States immense power, immense influence, shaping trade, geopolitics, everything. It's been the world's main reserve currency, the language of commerce.
But now we're seeing this new ensemble cast building a rival stage right next door,
Yeah,
almost creating a parallel financial universe.
that's a good way to put it.
Enter the BRICS Plus alliance, originally Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa.
But now it's expanding rapidly. Lots of new players joining from the global south.
So what's their mission? What's this collective push all about? And why does it matter so much to the dollar's long reign?
Well, their collective mission, boiled down, is a quiet, steady, but truly monumental push for de-dollarization.
De-dollarization, okay.
Now, this isn't about replacing the dollar overnight. I mean, that would be incredibly difficult, maybe impossible.
Right.
Instead, it's more like a subtle but relentless chipping away at its dominance. We're seeing more countries agree to trade with each other using their own local currencies.
Bypassing the dollar for certain deals.
Exactly. And China, for instance, is actively building new financial plumbing, like its CIPS system.
CIPS?
Yeah, the cross-border interbank payment system. It's basically designed as an alternative to the U.S.-controlled SWIFT network.
Which is how most international bank transactions happen now.
Right. So CIPS is like China building its own highway, letting nations transact without necessarily going through a U.S.-centric system. They are, in essence, building an entirely new financial architecture from the ground up.
Trying to rewrite the rules.
Trying to rewrite the rules of global trade and finance, create alternatives to the existing dollar-based order. Yeah.
Okay, so this is a very deliberate, very strategic move by a big chunk of the world's nations. What does all of this mean for gold then? Especially in this landscape where the dollar's dominance is being challenged and this new system is maybe being built?
Well, if the global financial system is truly being re-architected, what role does gold play?
Yeah, what's its place in this unfolding drama?
That leads to one of the most important questions right now. What's going to back this emerging architecture? If they move away from the dollar, what gives the new system credibility, stability, confidence on the world stage?
Good question.
And many experts, myself included, believe the answer, or at least a big part of the answer, will be gold.
Really? Gold backing new systems?
Imagine just for a moment the BRICS Plus alliance collectively announces they're backing their new trade mechanisms, maybe a basket of their own currencies with vast verifiable gold reserves.
Wow.
Or even more dramatically, what if they launch a new commodity-backed currency just for international trade, a sort of gold-backed trade currency?
That would be huge.
It would be like pouring rocket fuel on the price of gold. It would signal this monumental shift. Gold wouldn't just be a safe haven anymore. It'd be re-emerging as a central, foundational pillar of a new global financial order.
And are we seeing signs they're preparing for something like this?
We're already seeing clear signs of preparation, yes. Nations like China, Russia, India, they are quietly but very aggressively accumulating unprecedented amounts of gold.
Buying it up.
And, crucially, bringing it home, taking it out of vaults in places like London and New York. That process is called repatriation.
Bringing the gold back home.
Exactly. And look, this isn't just a financial decision like tweaking a portfolio. It's deeply strategic. It's geopolitical. It's a clear signal they're getting ready for a world where the U.S. dollar isn't the only game in town.
And where trust in traditional unbacked currencies might be, well, fading.
Great insight.
That's a really powerful point. It's not just balancing the books. It's a strategic realignment on a global scale.
Right.
Okay, so with all these incredibly complex forces swirling around central banks, debt, this huge geopolitical shift towards de-dollarization, maybe even the remonetization of gold, what does this actually mean for the price of gold? Say, in the next few years, 2026 to 2030, let's explore those possible plot lines you mentioned.
Right. Well, the first, and I'd say arguably the most likely scenario, is what we could call the steady climb scenario.
Okay, steady climb.
In this version of the story, de-dollarization keeps happening, but it's a slow, steady process, like a gradual erosion, not an overnight collapse.
Makes sense.
Central banks globally, especially within that BRICS Plus group, keep buying gold at a pretty strong pace, securing their reserves, diversifying away from the dollar.
And inflation.
Inflation remains a threat, Maybe it's sticky, persistent, but it's generally manageable. It
Yeah.
doesn't spiral completely out of control.
Okay. So in that world.
In that scenario, you could realistically see gold reaching a price range of, say, $3,000 to $3,500 per ounce by 2030.
So a solid rise from where we are now.
A solid, predictable upward path, driven by that gradual loss of faith in unbacked paper money, fiat currencies, and this ongoing geopolitical rebalancing. The signs be steady central bank buying, continued global tensions, persistent, if moderate, inflation.
Okay, that sounds like a strong but measured forecast, a significant move, but not, earth-shattering. But you mentioned a thrilling blockbuster scenario earlier. What would need to happen for gold to truly explode, to really shake things up?
Ah, yes, the geopolitical spike scenario. This is where things get dramatic.
Okay, tell us about that.
This timeline involves something major happening. Maybe a big, unexpected financial crisis hits the global economy. Something that causes trust in the existing institutions, in fiat currencies, to just plummet rapidly.
A crisis of confidence.
Exactly. Or perhaps even more likely, the BRICS Plus alliance actually pulls it off. They successfully launch a really impactful gold-backed trade currency or some kind of significant gold-backed settlement system for international trade.
The thing we were just talking about.
The very thing. Imagine they announce it and it quickly gains traction among a large group of nations.
What happens to gold then?
In that timeline, the demand for gold would just explode, almost parabolically, sending its price soaring well past $5,000 an ounce,
Right.
maybe much higher. It would be this dramatic wake-up call to the world, a signal that the old financial order is truly crumbling. And a new, multipolar financial architecture, maybe with gold near its center, is firmly taking hold.
And you think this is actually possible, not just a wild theory?
Look, it's not science fiction. Given the tectonic shifts we're seeing in global power, the massive gold buying by key nations, the growing unhappiness with dollar dominance, it's a very real possibility.
Good. Wow, $5,000 plus. That definitely feels like a blockbuster. But let's talk balance. Is there a flip side? A bear case where gold doesn't shine so brightly, where maybe its value stagnates or even falls?
There is, though I'd say it's unlikely. But yes, there's a theoretical bear case scenario.
What would that look like?
Okay, imagine this. What if the U.S. government somehow manages to, against all current trends, actually get its huge national debt under control? Maybe through some unprecedented fiscal discipline leading to, say, sustained budget surpluses.
Highly hypothetical, but okay.
Highly hypothetical. And what if, in that environment, the Federal Reserve keeps interest rates really high for a very long time, making the dollar incredibly strong, super attractive to global investors?
Right, the opportunity cost we talked about?
Exactly. And then add to that, what if global geopolitical tensions just miraculously ease, like a sudden wave of global harmony breaks out, leading to this huge resurgence of trust in traditional financial systems and international cooperation?
So U.S. fixes its debt, rates stay high forever, world peace breaks out.
That combination, fiscal responsibility, high rates, global harmony, that would be gold's kryptonite. It would suppress its price, make its role as a safe haven seem much less necessary.
But how likely is that, really?
Well, if we connect that back to the bigger picture, the current global dynamics, the de-dollarization efforts, the geopolitical shifts, the sticky inflation, this bear case seems by far the least likely of the three scenarios we've discussed.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. So this isn't just an academic exercise for market watchers then. This has real-world implications. What does all of this mean for you, our listener, the individual trying to navigate this incredibly complex financial landscape, make sense of these huge shifts?
Fundamentally, I think gold isn't just a metal you trade. It's often, well, it's like a profound vote of no confidence in the existing systems. It's less about trying to make a quick buck and more about this quiet, powerful conviction. A feeling that in a world with seemingly endless debt, loads of political uncertainty, and this rapidly changing financial architecture, you want something tangible on your side.
Something timeless.
Timeless, universally accepted, something that stood the test of millennia and isn't just subject to the whims of a single government or a central bank.
Exactly. And it feels like in the coming years, say 2026 to 2030, people and nations won't just be voting on inflation rates or where interest rates are going.
No, it's bigger than that.
They'll be voting, really, with their investment choices, with their reserve choices, on the entire architecture of the global financial system. They'll be making a very deliberate choice about who and what they trust.
Is it the promises of governments and the stability of fiat currencies?
Or is it the immutable, independent value of a metal that was forged in the heart of a star.
Yeah. And that really raises an important question for you, the listener, to consider. A question that ties right into your own financial philosophy.
Which is,
In a world that's being actively rewritten, with new financial systems potentially emerging and old ones being challenged like maybe never before, what kind of value will you choose to have on your side?
a profound question indeed. The grand adventure of gold, and really of global finance.
It has only just begun.